Well, dang it! This wall's just not working no more. Dang it. Who needs walls anyway? I mean, really, who needs walls? They're overrated. Hello? My name is Jessica. Welcome to another one of my videos. You know what, before I get started, I better kind of fix that back there. Don't worry. It's, I can't keep breaking. Oh well, so, easy fix. So yeah, we're actually going to replace all this stuff out and put mirrors on it, so don't freak out on me. I'm not getting self-destructive. I am, but let's not talk about that. Let me just put this over there and get my fat butt out of the way. Hey, so, hi, how's it going? My name is Jessica. Welcome to another one of my videos. As you can see, I'm just talking about myself. Today is actually, January 29th, 2012, believe it or not. And I was actually going to go to a makeup class today, and it did not turn out. I canceled last minute. I'm kind of bummed out about that. So, anyway, as I'm running late for work, figured I'd just go ahead and make a video. And do it about those walls that just never... It's going to be a hard topic for me. Going to be kind of interesting too. I had makeup on earlier. Got to take it off, getting ready for work. So anyway, yeah, I know, I dyed my hair. It's not too bad. It's a little different. It's actually not that bad. I like it. I might just keep it like that. Anyway, so about this video I'm doing, believe it or not, it's the one you're about ready to watch. It's very, very long. So feel free, pause it. I mean, if I say it's long, then it's got to be longer than any of my other videos. So pause it, make some popcorn, watch 10 minutes at a time. I don't know. I'm not going to part it out. I'm just going to let it go. I got to say it. Got to get it out of my mind. It's going to be a difficult video for me. And I don't know how helpful it's going to be. But to get serious on things, let's go ahead and try to do something a little different. Like swing over to here. And use this video camera over here if I don't mess it up. So, I know it's not perfect. So, hey, this is a new webcam, or not a webcam, it's actually a camcorder. It's a Canon. A little bit better light than that last one had. Still not perfect. I don't know, I kind of like the colors over here better. I don't know. Go back over here. It just seems darker. If I can add more light. Ew, that's too much light. No, close that thing. That ain't helping. That hurt matters. So, anyway. Let's just go ahead and do it here. Different. I know. Now that I'm goofing all this up. So, what is this video that I want to do that really is one of the hardest videos? It's actually about the walls. About these walls right here. Whether they be walls that cover all the way around us or that surround us partially. We all have walls, whether we're transgendered or not. I found out over my life that I actually had a lot of walls that I'm realizing now I really didn't need to put up and barricade. Um, I'm just getting, oh, I know. I'm just running in and out everywhere. I'll show you what's in that room another day. In for a treat. So, this is actually, to sum things up really quick, this is actually a part 3 of a previous 2-part video. Even though it's not really a part 3. If we all remember last month, I believe it was the 05C and D videos were pretty much about my family, about me growing up. And I was kind of using that video for myself to convince myself to tear down some of my walls. Growing up, the way that I grew up, I felt I had to hide myself all the time. And a lot of transgender people do, I'm sure. And yes, this is Gatorade. And it's low-calorie Gatorade at that. It don't taste very good. But I gotta wake up. It's better than coffee. So, I had this video already done, and the video was shaky. It was driving me. I was getting seasick, so I had to redo it. I'm not going to put you guys through all that. I'm bad enough to long videos. So, anyway, growing up, I always felt I had to hide myself, the way I felt. I actually, like previously in videos, if you watch them, and you'll know I have 5 brothers, 6 sisters, big family. I was adopted. They weren't all homemade. But growing up, we were all told pretty much, or taught pretty much, basically, how to respect each other. I mean, some of us learned it, some of us didn't. It was the right settings and to do so. And I always just sort of kind of hid myself a moment. Because I felt that I couldn't be myself. That's, like I said, why I took bad care of my teeth. And I went through a big depression stage long after I left the household, 18. I went through a big, huge depression stage. Roller coaster of a ride. I was even homeless for a long time. Living on the streets in Boise, Idaho. So, kind of interesting to see how my life has done this full circle. And my therapist sort of wanted me to, so I'm not good at trying to say what I'm thinking, so my brain's going different directions, and I'm not as bad as some people. So we all build these walls, and I've had some major walls. A mega depression that I struggled myself to deal with. And a lot of that I dealt with basically through alcohol and drugs. So my therapist, stop beating around the bush. My therapist basically, last month, basically around the time I made the 5C or 5D videos, pretty much said, you know what, Jessica, you got tons and tons of walls. And wait, I mean, she asked me, she goes, why don't you tell your family? And because she's always, why don't you tell your family? Why don't you tell them? I'm like, well, my family's cool. You know, I love my family, but I don't want to hurt them. And she just gave me that weird look, and I was like, well, you know, we don't really talk to each other very much, and, I just sort of, I guess I sheltered myself more. And that's when she got over. She said, you know, Jessica, you got some serious walls. You need to tear down these walls, girl. And, you know, if they choose to put them back up, then so be it. But for now, you need to tear down the walls. And that's just like I was collapsing that wall there. You know, I put the wall up, and I tore it down. You know, somebody else would say, you know, ho, wait a minute here. And you know, put the wall back up for you, then that's all good. And so I kind of found that neat. And I started telling some of my family. Wow. I was right. I knew our parents, raised us up in a way that, pretty much respect one another, love one another. And I told one of my sisters a long time ago, well, not a long time ago, I told her a couple months ago, I guess, over the phone. And I didn't get that message that, hey, cool, all right. But she said that. She said exactly, okay, great, you're stopping. She knew I stopped drinking. She knew I wasn't depressed. I say a lot of it to my, I credit a lot of that to my fiance. But a lot of it has to deal with this, too. Me and being myself, and being happy. I talked to her again after I made those videos, and she basically reassured me that, hey, everything's all right, don't worry about it, be yourself, just stay, do what you're doing, you're happy. And I was like, cool. So after that, I told another sister, and she's out in California. Anyway, she's like, she kind of yelled at me. She's like, why didn't you tell me sooner? And I'm like, oh, I should have, and I think as transgender people, another reason why we build these walls is, because we want to make sure ourselves. At least for me, I didn't want to be told. I really hated therapists, psychologists, whatever you want to call them, because I had a lot of those in the foster care growing up. I don't remember ever discussing, being a woman or a girl, even though I've always felt that. Since I can remember, I was always, even in foster families, I remember grabbing their daughter's clothes and wearing them. I mean, but anyway, so I've always had this. I just don't be involved. I basically told the sister, well, I had to make sure and do my research, and she's like, well, you did it all by yourself, and she was kind of proud, so that was good. Other than just, basically, telling me that, hey, I should have told her a lot sooner. I didn't, so it was all my bad. So I told another sister after that one. And she was pretty much the same thing. She's like, cool. So you're not drinking as much no more. Because, see, I'm leaving a part of the story out. There's actually another family member that drinks a lot. And we used to be compared, pretty much. In fact, I would hide my beer from this family member next to my bed right out in the open, basically keeping it warm. I wouldn't even refrigerate, because I knew if I put my beer in my refrigerator, he would, it'd be gone. So I was protecting my own depression in a way. But yeah, so this other sister, she told me, that's great. She goes, Mikey. And she goes, I don't have a problem with that. But and I told her, I said, you know what? I'm not. And if you're watching, I'm not at that stage quite yet. But yes, we'll work on that. When I get the name legally done, hormones ain't changing my name right now. I ain't changing my voice. I got to work on my voice. But this is something definitely that, it's interesting. So I'm tearing down these walls. And so far, nobody's really put them back up going, Now, these are walls with family members. Like we all know in the previous videos, both my mom and dad are dead. They died last year. So, they never knew. One of my sisters, now I'll get into that stuff, but it's just level all around. It's, respect out of the fact that, hey, I'm not being depressed no more. I'm healthy. I ain't robbing no banks. I ain't in prison. Which, believe me, I have other family members that, have taken the windy road of drugs and everything else. They're not in prison, but so I'm not the only. But like I said, a lot of that was because of this. So I've been learning to deal with these walls. Now I still have to tell my brothers. One of my brothers actually did find out. One of my younger brothers, which was kind of interesting in itself. Because I get this message on my phone, so I knew exactly because one of my sisters has a website, and my brother saw my message to my sister. Wait a minute, that's my older brother. What? Now my sister? What? So, and it was cool. We talked for a little bit. I got to call him back. I still got to disclose a lot of stuff. I just wasn't ready at that time to tell my brothers. I knew I had to do it, and I also got to tell 2 more brothers. Which one of them already sort of kind of knows that, but it needs to come from my lips. And the other one, that's one's scaring me now. I know I'm a therapist. I need to think positive thoughts, and it's all good so far. Actually, one sister that I thought was going to be the worst, and she's very supportive. It's like, hey, if you want to be a sister, a woman, an alien, if you want to be whatever you want to be. And I'm like, so if any of my family members are watching that, no, thank you. Believe me, if you know me and you know how my walls are, it takes a lot for me to knock them over like I did. And I guess for each individual that has put up these walls, to be transgendered or whatever, because it's not just transgender people that put up walls. We all put up walls on one thing or another, one belief or another. We put up a wall. If we're dead on a belief, we're set on it. So these walls can affect a lot of different people. We put them up for different reasons. And they come down, when we feel comfortable with letting them down. Not when we have a belief change, I don't think. Like I said, I've been bringing a lot of mine down, and I got a lot more walls. I got work. Well, this is coming out of work. But that is sort of kind of a wall. So. But a lot I know has got changed. And I knew when I started hormones, it's like, because I said earlier in the video, I hate therapists, and I did before I met my current one, If you're in the Dallas area, if you know Felicia Porter, she specializes. And the minute I talked, she just got everything out of me from session number one. She was great, and she's, my insurance ain't even paying for it. I'm paying her out of my pocket. So, but it's, well, like I said, you don't skimp on your doctor. So if this is something you definitely want to do, if this is a road you want to take, you're going to need help. Or whether you use help with the therapist, you use help with YouTube videos to talk to your audience. I do that a lot, actually. In between sessions, I find by making these videos here, talking to myself out loud, by the time I get to my therapist is like, what are you here for? A couple times I put her to sleep, but I didn't put her to sleep. She just said, but I'm just doing so much better. And like I said, this takes a lot out of a person when they finally come out. Now, if you are a loved one of somebody that is transgendered and they're trying to come out to you and you're watching this video, I really don't know what to tell you. I mean, everybody's different. Everybody transitions for different reasons and at different times and paces. And some of them drink low calorie Gatorade, and some don't. I'm sorry, my things out. That was a big old ball. That ain't lady like anyway. Hey, I don't want to dirty a dish. I'm lazy. That's why I got a dishwasher. So yes, building the walls. And no, I was saying if you're a loved one of somebody that's transgendered, and you want to show support, sometimes you don't have to right away. That's another reason why I came out, or I'm starting to, let my family members know, my brothers and sisters, know, because time will heal a lot of things. Like I know the two people I gotta mainly tell that the ones of us that actually keep contact, around, throughout the year, not even around the sky, everything else, people talk amongst each other. Rumors fly throughout the family. Everybody's going to find out eventually. And now that I've told a few family members, and I got to hurry up and finish all the ones. But even if they disagree with it or disagree with my decision, it's not going to change the fact. I mean, it's not going to affect whether or not I end up taking my spironolactone for that. Or drop them all over the floor, as the case may be. So by them disagreeing with me or whatever, it ain't gonna change none of that. Not everybody's gonna agree or be enthusiastic, but maybe later on, like if I tell them tomorrow, and they're like, no, I don't see it. I'm sorry, I don't see it. You're always Mike, whatever. I mean, you're always. From that moment on, that's fine. You took the wall down. They put it back up. Over time, they'll eventually, like at the beginning of my video, they'll peek around that wall to see if you're okay. If they really good, they might not take that wall back down, but they'll put that wall back up, and then they'll peek around the corner and go, hey, you all right there? Checking on you. And eventually, the wall will, and that's not the case all the time. I know that, and it can take years, it can take months, it can take days or weeks. So there's always that aspect of it. I don't even know how long this video is getting. My clock ain't working on there. So, anyway, I'm sure it's getting pretty long. What's it over there? 25. Walls are very, very... let me read you something. I mean, I wrote poems before. I've written a bunch of them. Like I said, I painted this all. There it is. I had this all figured out. And I wrote, I went through major depression. It was back in 97, 98. And actually, even in the early 90s. This one I titled Me. Just Me. And there was this man just sitting in the rain, with his eyes so gloomy, I could only feel his pain. Not knowing where he's going, but his head held up high. Now I'm only wondering what it is that he's trying to hide. He says he's holding on to promises and wanting to play his role, or waiting to play his role, sorry. I could see that he has traveled time's long distance and always doing just what he was told. Now he is lured by his own confusion, something he could never understand. That's why he's sitting in the pouring rain, not even willing to accept my helping hand. Though this man seemed real nice, because I have known him far too long, it was then that I realized that he was mean. But where did I go wrong? And that's the way I was. I wrote tons of depressing. Like I said, I gotta put these up on my website. Some of these are good. Simple. I'm not a mix master or nothing. But so I always knew of my walls. That's why, and I previously, I read the one Beyond These Castle Walls, which is, I'm not going to read it again, but, it's the bigger one. And I used castle walls because I knew my walls were thick. And, like a very ending thing I put on there, but I think I've said enough. The choice is now your own. Maybe one day you'll learn to live. Oh, wait a minute, no, that's... And so I'm finally back. And now you can see I'm not the same. But beyond these castle walls is the way that I came. And that's what I meant to say, sorry. One moment, I dyed my hair, alright? The castle walls. I use castle walls for a reason, because castle walls are strong. They're hard to break. I live such a shelter exists, but I did that to myself. And it tormented one, but I did all that myself. I probably needed therapy a long, long time ago. I didn't really have really psychotic episodes or nothing like that. So I was always able to keep somewhat of a level head. I was always told I was smart for my age. Almost feel like I had a clip of hair missing out there. But I always seemed to, hold my head on tight, even though I was trying to hide it. Not everybody can do that. Like I said, there's a lot of transgender people out there that they're not going to say nothing to anybody. They're just going to, and I was the same way. And when I started all this research and finding out, hey, there's people that are transgender. Okay, I knew about she-males. I knew about cross-dressing. I mean, I cross-dressed for a while, but I knew cross-dressing. When I started to buy pants, okay, skinny jeans, whatever you want to call them, and my dirty socks. No, I need slippers. I knew it wasn't dresses or something like that. It wasn't not a clothes aroused on it. It was just a chance to be myself. But no, What was I saying? There's just a lot of us, and they're just going to hide. They're just going to build those walls. No. And I was that way for the longest time until I did start researching. And when I started researching and finding out there was others like me that are going through similar things, then I realized, you know what, hey, it's hormones ain't going to change everything. I know that. Like I said, I already got plans. That's why I'm keeping my job right now, because I know it needs some money, and I need to live the full life, or the full year, real life experience. So that's one reason why I want to tell them to work, so I get my name legally changed. Like I said, I got it right now. I'm buying some time with the credit cards. If you watch some of my older videos, like one lady told me, no, we can't take her husband's ID. With my husband's credit card, I didn't say that. This is now I got credit cards with actually both Mike and Jessica's name on it, because Jessica's actually the business name. So, I'm doing business as Jessica. So, legally in the county, it's registered. Anyway, and that's in all my previous videos. Selling yourself, I think 04F or something. So look it up. Anyway, so I'm buying some time with the name change there. I know that's gonna be, and I got a lot of walls I got to tear down with my family. And there's gonna be walls teared, and they're gonna, so far they're agreeing with everything, or not agreeing, they're accepting, very loving, and I love them for that. Like I said, there's me, a few that just, they're not gonna, what the heck? And that's fine too, but I'm glad I've let the people know that I've let known so far, and it's really helped me grow stronger inside, and that's why I'm making this video, in case somebody else does decide that, let their family members know, or let their loved one know that, hey, I got issues, and I'm not really happy unless I can be myself. In fact, let me read you this one line. I know this video is getting long. This one's good. This one's titled "To Live Alone," and this one really hits home for me. You're frozen into silence, and I can see the tears in your eyes. Maybe you thought, oh, my fiance left her phone in here, interrupting me. How do you turn this thing off? There we go. I gotta let her know now. Alright, so let me show. You're frozen into silence, and I can see the tears in your eyes. Maybe you thought you knew everything until we said our final goodbyes. You are challenged in your own emotions as you've lived your life in fear. Maybe secluded by your own devastation has made these choices no more clear. So now you feel alone, or maybe you live in the past. Times like this will never hurt you, but times like this will never last. Though you will say that this isn't true, and again you will try to deny. Maybe it's the way this life has treated you, or maybe you are just living another lie. You should give yourself some hope and realize your dreams of tomorrow. For living your life to the fullest is the only way to leave behind your sorrow. But I think I've said enough. The choice is now your own. Maybe one day you'll learn to live, or maybe you will always live alone. And that's what I said. This one here hits home. I could have easily, and I accepted the fact that I was going to grow up, I was going to be an old hermit on top of the mountaintop somewhere, and just say, screw the world. Sort of like I did with my teeth. screw it. But I didn't want to live alone. And, you know, I could have had friends, right? You didn't have to be a hermit. That's not what I meant. At the end of every video, I always say, be true. Be yourself. If you're true and yourself, you know, even if I were to scare people away and I was alone, I really wouldn't be alone because I got myself. Like, if you're yourself, if you're being true and you're being yourself, and that's all you got is yourself, you're going to live a lot happier life. It's going to come across. And actually, you're not going to be alone. It's sort of like if you pass it. Pass it. People always ask in the early stages, are you passable? Are you passable? A lot of it has to do with the confidence when you're walking. If you're going out shopping, something like that, and you know, how you present yourself. If you're walking around like this, you know, are they noticing me? Are they noticing me? Are they noticing? If you're doing that, chances are they're going to notice you, you're not going to pass. But if you're just flowing with it and going with it, you're being true in yourself. And it's the same thing with all this, the wall building. I pretty much rambled a very long time about nothing. I've done this video once before. It was really good, but it was shaky. I'll probably put it up somewhere. Or I'll watch it, but I'll put it. I don't know. I think this camera, it's a pretty decent camera. It's not the best camera. It's a Canon HF R20. But it's got the night thing on. It's pretty good. And I guess it's a camcorder, so if I want, I can zoom into my nostril hairs. I wouldn't do that too bad. So, yeah. I'm rambling about nothing now. You know, you just gotta be true. You gotta be yourself. Eventually, the walls are gonna have to come down. Excuse me. You're gonna have to let the walls come down. Or you're not gonna be happy. And like I said, if you're a loved one or a family member that, you know, someone's trying to let you know, give them some time. If you're not accepting right now, don't blow them off if you can help it. You know, give them a little bit of time. Watch them. See if it's for real. I mean, I know for me, this has been many a year's battle. You know, I'm 41 years old now. I'm getting old. I should have done this a long time ago. I admire the younger generation that I just like the earliest memory. One reason why my walls weren't up, and I know I said this, I can't remember, my first memory was a seaside orgy growing up. And it didn't really involve me, but there was two, and I believe they were brothers. I don't remember their names. I think I was a freshman, or I was, could be I just know from my brother playing sports, and they're still in junior high. I don't remember all the, but it was definitely seaside, I believe, and there were two brothers that always wore makeup. Always. I don't think they were transgendered or nothing like that. They were just, I think, more rock and roll or whatever, but or goth or I didn't know, but they wore makeup. And my brother, everybody just gave them a ration of crap. But I always found that interesting when I found out they were wearing makeup. I was like, wow, look at this. Then I started hearing this ration of crap that they're getting. I'm like, no, I can't do that. There goes the wall. And like I said, I don't think they were transgender or anything. They were just wearing makeup to make a statement or something like that. But that was one of the first things that, you know, hey, I gotta put this wall up. I don't want that. And then I went with a computer nerd, you know, chess club. I wasn't a jock, I knew that. Anyway, I'm rambling far too long. Everybody has their walls up for different reasons. and different layers of walls, and walls beyond walls, and in front of walls, and behind walls, and doors. And I'm a lot happier that some of these walls are coming down. A lot of them are with my family right now. I got others in other places. But before this transition is complete, all those walls are pretty much coming down. So that's a good thing. It makes me stronger. It makes me happy and strong. And it makes me understand more about myself, too. So, way too long. Again, I know I just said that like 5 times. Be true. Be yourself. Peace. Until next time.